autonomous agents that ideate and execute on tasks with minimal human guidance. So you've heard of software as a service. Agentic AI is results as a service. You can go to an AI agent pretty soon and say, "Hey, listen, I sell rings, and here's the catalog of all my rings. I sell them on my Instagram store. I want you to create compelling advertising for these rings. I can afford my cost of acquisition. I can afford to pay maybe $100.
Hi guys.
And my ring sell for $199.
Happy Friday.
You gotta say, an agentic AI.
Where's Christine?
Like I said, he's going to build it. And when this launches, it's going to make.
I am in an AI summit right now. He said I get certified. So in the kitchen. Jackie! Look, are you going live? Because I usually attend your lives and I don't go on them. But, I'm trying to do better. I'm working on some really cool stuff. I actually owe you an email, a message. Hey! Yeah, I really have bunkered down on my purpose, merging with fashion technology and helping women entrepreneurs use AI. So I'm trying to get certified with him. No, I did okay. Oh, just Tuesdays and Thursdays? Okay. Well, I'll start school. Technically, the kids come back like the second week of August, so I usually watch you in the classroom. And I'm going to like my local bookstores, and there's another Black coffee shop that opened up in New Orleans called St. Eloire. And so I'm going to do some coffee shop hopping. So I have my new link in bio where I'm trying to support all my visions. I did a 3-day workshop about vibe coding with black and brown children, and it just was the best. So, my calling, I've been trying to deny for a really long time. Now I got to go back in the classroom. So we're gonna do some really I want to be on live in the scene. The school that I teach at, it's going to be another school. So it's going to be not too far from the farm that I volunteer at, Speakeasy Farm. So, yeah, God has his way of being like, no, Sonthia, you're not going to do that. What you thought you was going to do, you're going to do this. So I did inspire some kids. One particular girl who was in foster care the last 3 days of school. And it really just changed my whole trajectory of how the kids are more moldable, and there are those adults that want to inspire them. And that's why I want to help, period. I'm done. And I also want to make sure our kids here in New Orleans are able to see life outside the booth. So my friend Christine, we're working on a workshop coming up. So hopefully we can we're going to do some flyers and promotion. We have a meeting today. You and your sister not working together. Yeah, we are. Girl, listen. Me and Big Sis, we still together. Reluctantly, right? I think my mom in heaven's like, you and your sister are going to work together. So yeah, I'm actually, she's one of my clients. I'm actually working on something for her. And I did a really cool avatar that spoke Spanish and English. And it was a reflection of the kids in the community. And I feel like we don't see that. And that's my biggest advocate. So I'm like, she's going to be Afro Creole. Okay, and she's gonna have accent, and she's gonna have long curly hair, or she's gonna have short curly hair, or she's gonna have Bantu knots. The kids need to be represented, and they need to know that this information is for them to use. And I had in the workshop, I had three girls that were into fashion. They had amazing projects. These high schoolers, they had one was about, she was a swimmer, and she had they created apps in the workshop, and they knew the back house of code. So it's just girls should be the same opportunities as boys, especially little white boys. They should be able to know this stuff. And the fact that there were so many partners that came into the workshop to help the kids understand, and people who didn't understand. I was literally the example of the girl who went in the fashion field, came from a hairstyling mother. If I could do it, if I can figure this out, child, listen, you can do it. So yeah, I'm just trying to pull together, as a creator, trying to pull together, how you want things set up. And with new technology now, I'm trying to be I want to do a mood board, but I want to be able to have you see me do it, because everything's on the desktop. So I'm like, I need to be in the class? Sure. Listen, there's a lot, like, for instance, there's some of my mom customers that I still talk to. And I asked one of them, and she said, I just downloaded ChatGPT and I don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, you could just ask it, take a picture of your lawn and say, how can I landscape? Even my aunt, who's like 65. No, I'm lying. She'll go 63. And we garden. And I've created, like, her neighbor, she wanted like a little privacy fence. And I literally showed her what I did. She's like, and this is a woman who's in the stock market who uses, AI from a financial school, but it's very basic. Like, it's like Gemini in your email. Hey, Janice. I'm just in a little coffee chat, y'all. Work with me. They're talking about I'm on this AI certification summit with Mind Valley. They say like 100,000 people are on here. It's crazy. Yeah, so anyway, Christine, can you go live? Let me see. She's gonna be like, oh my goodness. So Christine and I have met on Substack Live. You guys have not saw my post on LinkedIn. Christine has been my work bestie. I'm buying and doing. Oh, I love, you know what? And your work with me's are so inspiring because I'm like, so I think sometimes you sit in this house or somewhere and you're just in your zone and it's just so encouraging, because I can't talk to these people. It's like a million comments. I love that, girl, the coffee experience. So the summer I have now works. So, the Nespresso was not getting espressoed. And so I put on my bio site, buy me a cappuccino. So it's funny because it's like full circle. My girlfriend's daughter, aka my niece, is down here. She wants to be I think a pediatric doctor. And so she's into a program. She's 16 years old. And she would tell her mom for years, like, I'm gonna go live with TT. Like, that was a joke. And like now I'm in a coffee shop and she's like circling around her program. And I'm like, oh my God, like I helped raise this child. So it's just full circle. I remember I wrote a post with her in it and I was like, I want my nieces to see me do things. And they have, right? And it's like, so I see the girls and they're like, I'm like, oh, do y'all know a girl named Stormy? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, everyone's like, I'm like, tell her you saw her TT. I'm out here in these streets. It's just funny how the world is so full circle. And then, everybody's like, so I think the kids love you. I'm like, no. But I do see the kids love me. It's funny. It's really funny. I taught modeling a long time ago, but teaching tech, it's just a whole different. Like last night I created an app, but I wanted to show it with Christine. I wanted, what? Can you show? Okay, I wonder if you can show items on here. I don't think you can. Like you can show assets like on Instagram Live. Nobody on Instagram, child. I'm also listening to blues in the background.
In many places around the world are coming down to about 35.
Christine should be on this training with me.
It's going to continue diminishing. It's going to continue diminishing.
Oh, I was going to create another app too. I get all kind of ideas.
15 hours a week. This is going to be a wonderful thing. But the first thing is, we got to get out of our minds the stupid idea.
Here's a guide to the presentation. I'm actually on Mind Valley AI Summit, y'all. And I wanted to see Noelle. She's like one of my AI. I guess I call my AI besties. But there's a lady on LinkedIn, Professor Horton. She's amazing. I took her class. So I just tried to have laser focus when I'm looking at all this AI information because you can get overwhelmed and lost and not be productive. And one of my goals was like last night, Christine will be so proud. She doesn't want to go live on me. That's fine. I was like, I'm going to create a website for something I used to do for free. I used to be like on Twitch streaming nails and I used to be like the hype girl. Create a Black Stack one and teach me. Oh, create a Black Stack one. We'll teach. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Oh, my God. Oh, Christine's. Hey! Work bestie in the house. Oh, we have almost the same hairstyle today.
Yeah, almost.
Oh, wait. Let me put my lip gloss on. Hold on. I got you. Bam! Yeah,
How you
Jackie,
been doing?
we'll definitely do that. Are you on the Mind Valley thing?
Am I on what?
Mind Valley. They have some. Look at us. Look at it.
Yeah.
Jackie from Black Stack is here. Love Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. How are you?
Love everybody watching. Get our gloss on me wedding. So I want to see Joelle on the AI Summit with Mind Valley.
Mhm.
I think she comes on tomorrow. It's 3 days. It's how long will it be?
I mean, I am just like hoping to actually be able to do it myself, mostly because of work obligations. Don't mind the smoke detector in the background. We have to fix that soon, but I have work obligations, so I'm trying to see like how I can finesse it so that I can like watch and
Just have it running.
Yeah.
They have over 100,000 people. I think they're going to give out. They said they're going to have certificates, but on LinkedIn they never gave me any link. I had to go get it. So I just think they're overwhelmed because a lot going on. Because he's still talking, the owner. So how was your morning going? You got your coffee.
I haven't had any breakfast. But the more I kind of like I woke up at 5 and then I conked up on the couch at like 9 and I just woke up like around 11-ish. So now I'm just like here, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. Technically I'm off, so
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, I'm off
I'm so
until.
happy you went live and that you invited me. I don't know why you would invite me, but
Why not? Because we're gonna talk. We're getting information. We have a meeting today at 3. So I know I just wanted to hop on, but I was just like, what? I'm sitting up here at the laptop at the kitchen table, and I was like, what? I'm just going live, test it out, on the iPad because the phone is not working. And I was looking at a different for like the mood board workshop feature. I was playing around with Shuffle, and I was just trying to see of like how I could. There's their app that could help me with the workshop that we have gotten. So I just wanted to share some tips about how I use AI. Last night I created an app. I'm gonna show you. So yesterday I said I'm gonna finish my bio site. I wanted to add 2 digital products, which I did. I have the 5 AI prompt like a boss available on my bio site, y'all. So go check out the Substack post.
fine.
I invite people to go to the second page, which is the Maven Creative Club, which we're going to talk about all this tech stuff. I still got to import my peeps. But yesterday, I created. Oh, wait, here it goes. It is the Maven. Wait, it's the Hype Maven Studio.
Oh, nice. Did you post this on LinkedIn?
I did not. I was still, what I was trying to do, I was trying
Wait,
to.
sorry. I think it went out. I was trying to just check it on my phone, but I think it went out.
Okay, I can still hear you. It just showed your picture.
Now I just see how I can fix this.
So I basically made so I always been like a virtual hype girl. So I made an app where you can book me. You can book
Yeah.
me. And the prompt was so fire, I had no edits. The prompt was prompted. It's the prompt. Oh, we should have the prompt party. Prompt party. I get all my best ideas when I go live. I did not post it on LinkedIn yet, but it's super cute, y'all. Y'all getting the first look. It's the Hype Maven Studio. So it's your digital hype girl, virtual cheerleader, and Maven moderator for
Oh, nice.
digital platform. And then as
Let me
Instagram.
Let me double check on my laptop. Let me see if I can like go ahead and like look at it.
You want me to send it to you? Like on your text message?
I mean, if you have it on LinkedIn, I'll just check it out there. It's fine.
No, I don't have it nowhere.
Oh, you don't have it anywhere yet?
I ain't posted.
Oh my gosh, why haven't you posted it yet?
Well, I was thinking like I was trying to get the links to work because when you click on it, nothing happens because it's still data, whatever. But I wanted to see, does the credits from Lovable regenerate or do you just have to buy?
Does it what?
The credits from Lovable regenerate. Like, you know how like ChatGPT tell you to come back?
Normally, if you pay for it, like,
Oh, you
like,
pay.
like 5 iterations, I believe.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm going to just send it to you. So I want you digging for it. But I have not launched it, y'all. So it said, choose your digital energy. Hype girl. $75 an hour. I do live chat engagement, hype, audience interaction. You know, they have people doing this shit for free, y'all. I'm still waiting for the people to
So
come.
cute.
I was there. So let me tell you the story because it's a funny story. I met a girl who I used to work. It's gonna be in my tell-all book because the storytelling is telling. I met a girl in a nail charm group because if you guys don't know, my background is beauty. Met her in a nail charm group, and this guy he's on Instagram called King of Nails. His name is Max Estrada. Anyway, he's crazy. I met him in person, took one of his nail classes, all the things. Well, he would pay people to be part of his pink army. Well, he didn't pay people. He would gift products like, oh, you randomly win a freaking, nail buffer or some shit. The girl who I don't want to be named, who became my boss and became a nightmare, she was hyping him up for the free. And then she'll call me like, girl, did you see Vanessa? And then she would be all these people business. Like, we were in a nail charm group, which was actually like rival. This is like some serious shit. So we were in a nail charm group from a former paid ambassador from his nail products. He might have died, mysteriously. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then all of us, I've been left the group before he passed, but he had controversy with this man. He had a lawsuit, everything, so he just disappeared. He died. So then she kept, being all these other people business from the former business. And she was doing all this stuff for free. She'll be on Discord. She would like, they had a feature where they would get people off, like if they started something crazy, because he had somebody else's lives. I was like, are you doing this shit for a product? Yes. For free. And then I was on Twitch. She was my moderator for a second. But it's like when you used to go on the art channels on Twitch, you don't get as many spammers. Some people say racist comments, like craziness. And so Jackie said, I love it. Hey, I'll have a good day. I'm going to go put this magazine press now. Yay! Nice. Y'all go check out Black Sec on Substack too. Amazing. So she was like, never moderating for me. So I was like, how does this go? And then you realize like sometimes they were paying people on Twitch to moderate. And I was like, oh, this is another business, but you have to be active streamer, gamer type vibes. And so at the time I was streaming beauty. I wasn't playing any games. A lot of the artists, they play a game. They'll do like, I play Fortnite and I stream something creative,
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking in my head, I was like, I need a site because I'm doing an app challenge. So I want to do more developed app challenges to win money. And there's two on the dev community. One is with Redis, Redis. I'm on that one. And then, the bulk awards are coming up for the app development on 26.
I'm looking forward to that.
So we might do a little little live, get them adjusted to what we talking about with the tech. But I guess we should introduce ourselves. We have a couple people watching.
Okay, you can do it first. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Well, hi guys, I'm Sonthia Coleman, curated by Sonthia Coleman, Substack newsletter here. And also, I am an AI integration specialist. I live in New Orleans, Louisiana. And my mission is to help Black women of color entrepreneurs leverage their business with tech. And I also want to branch off to my mentee program to help the youth here in my community and beyond. And I'm here with my co-host,
Christine. Christina Lucare. I am the founder of The Reluctant Graduate here on Substack, as well as another publication called The Shameless Method. I also am an app developer myself. I am running an app called Shameless because you will find less shame when you use my application. It is a mental wellness and self-care, productivity, and accountability app. And I can put it in the chat below if anybody's interested in looking at it, what I have so far. But what I like to do best is vibe code. And me and Sonthia, we met, like, through a similar impromptu live just like this, just a couple of months ago. And we ended
yeah.
up being like super best work besties ever since. So now it's kind of like, we're just here, we're vibing, we're enjoying the space, we're enjoying the coziness of it all. And I'm just here to support her as, like, her teammate, as her work bestie, as her cousin, and from another mother. And just help out, like, as best as I can with her business model, with her pitching, with everything. But as we can see from her hype coach app that she created just yesterday that I'm like shocked at, like she's gonna be doing bad all by herself. So
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, honestly, I think the whole definition behind a work bestie is someone that you really can vibe with. Like, I mean, I can't talk about vibe coding with my sister, right? Jack was asking if I'm working with my sister again. Yes, like she's trying to learn, wrap her head around this stuff. We're 7 years apart, so she's like, wait, what did you do? Like, let me see that. So she's learning because her whole structure is totally different. I'm more open minded in the concept of technology, and she's kind of like new to it, but she's embracing it a little bit at a time because she wants more of it. So when you have a work bestie, and I think some people have to realize, like, when people grow, there's people that won't relate to what they're doing. A lot of the girls that I grew up with, they don't understand what the hell I'm doing. Like, they're like, what? Or some are tech tech driven, but they don't share. And that's what I love about Christine is like, from meeting a complete stranger who shares information, not trying to, you have people that gatekeep, even if they don't even know that they're doing it or they do. Like I have a family member or a girlfriend, a cousin, like literally I was like, how do you do a digital product? Like I asked that shit like 2 years ago. They already have a digital product on Etsy, right? Making little money, little coins. But here I am stuck. I'm like, oh, I'm going to show you. Oh, I don't have time. Like that has got to stop because what's happening is people could have been collaborating. So what happens is when you start doing this, you start growing, and then those people say, well, you acting funny, or you got to work bestie. Well, because I asked you, and you left me here. You left me hanging. And how is that helping the next generation of Black and brown girls to collaborate and communicate? How are we making these girls feel confident when you don't have the time to share? And it could be 5 minutes, it could be a tip. I think people want you to do it for them. No, I want you to tell me tips on how to do it myself. So they be mad because I'm like, I'd rather sit on the phone with Christine and talk about, we literally troubleshoot. Like, for instance, right now, one of the projects is my website, right? Sonthia is literally a WordPress word from thousands of years ago. But trying to see how I can vibe code that thing to use it on a free basis. I'm trying to really scale everything as free as possible because it could be accessible to everybody until you get the capital to gain something, right? And I think Christine's amazing with the whole app thing because that's something totally new to me that I don't know. And the goal is that when you make money, you pay people for their services. So the first person I want to invest and who's been investing in me, which is the most valuable currency is their time, would be Christine, right? I want to include her in my grant. I want to include her in my mission. I want to include her in my payroll, right? As a consultant. And I think people always want to collab. I remember I've had people in my pockets that claim to collaborate, but they didn't. They basically shelled their credit card and changed the whole mindset. And I did not see that coming. And then the trajectory of my podcast went So sometimes it's great to work with both collaborators. Christine has her own projects. I have my projects. We have projects together, and boom, something's going to shake, right? People may like to work with Christine on a more technical basis. They like how she instructs. They may say, oh, Sonthia, I need that energy and that encouragement, but I like your creativity and the colors. You put them together, boom, you have us. So I think showing real collaboration amongst two Black girls in two different cities, that we can go switch and show the opportunity with the people around us is the most powerful thing. So,
And it's interesting because it's like we never met in person, me and
no,
Sonthia. We
never.
never met in person yet, but we're gonna meet in person soon. But
Yeah.
the fact that we are just like doing all of this stuff, like basically mentally and I guess emotionally vibing together is so interesting to me because it's like we never met in person, and this is something that everybody in technology should just like take advantage of is the fact that you can just Zoom or FaceTime or Google Meet a person away from home and just like understand them, understand their vision, understand what they're trying to do with their community, understand what they're trying to do with their company, and work with them in a way that is gonna help everybody involved. And I think that time is definitely a resource that people don't take advantage of as much as they could.
Yeah.
Like definitely giving time to people that deserve it is something that I like to do best. And I'm doing that a lot now. That was kind of like my main goal this summer, is to give my time and my patience and my strength to people that really deserve it. And
Yes.
me and you have been cooking up a lot of stuff over this summer. I don't know if you want to tell some people about some of the things that you've accomplished.
Oh,
And just
yeah.
keep them in the loop.
Oh, yeah. So let's see, we have them. So first of all, I've created the Maven Tech Week while I was in the classroom. Literally decided to like change my business. Like just was like, okay, I'm not the fashion brand influence now. Maven's little merchandising is now the tech, right? And then I didn't even know what that encompasses. I got introduced to ChatGPT in 2020 to build an avatar around a merchandising school. And what I realized as I was listening to Arlen, because that's where this has so many roots to this tree, child. I was listening to Callum Jackson, who interviewed Arlen, and I was like on a binge watch last night, and he was talking about when you have that moment where you're like, okay, I need to change some stuff. This is the purpose. This is where I need to go. Working with those kids for 4 months straight, and then working with kids for 3 days for the summer. In between those 4 months, I was able to create a brand new website, like a landing page, a logo, branding, revitalizing guidelines, create a workshop, kind of like protocol, if you will, about creative branding, marketing, digital tech tools. We also talk about virtual events that we want to create that can turn into live events. I've accomplished doing XR design and going to the metaverse, networking in the metaverse, making huge connections with people in AI education for K through 12, being a facilitator at 3-day workshop, us creating prototyping apps and strategies, business plans. Like we forecasted a whole event, a 6-month strategy, a TikTok Substack, YouTube, LinkedIn strategy. We went live. Christine had me on her podcast. First of all, I was a guest on her podcast.
Yeah,
Definitely need to.
fun.
I mean,
You're planning to do that one again.
you went to an event in New York that was huge. You created apps. You've landed a cool job. Like, and I think also you talk about time. Like, of course, I've applied for so many branding jobs. I even tried applying. My aunt had me over there at her brokerage. I applied for that, and you don't want me back to school. It's like, what? What do you mean? Like, I gotta go back to the school. I was like, yeah, fine, go back to the school. But, that's the purpose. It's like the time that I have, like in the next, let's say I'm giving myself 6 months, right? The time that I have to be literal and I want to really work for anyone else, right? I want to work for me. And so the time that I have in those classrooms to work all night. Literally, Christine, when I was sitting in the classroom, I had 2 laptops, literally, in front of my face. I would literally do the school stuff. If they gave me a laptop, and then I would literally be on mine. And I thought one day I'd bring in my iPad because I can't record the class. But I'm like, damn. And literally, when I go home, my goal was I'm gonna work 2 hours, and next time this is gonna work with me when I sleep. And the time that I've got from this job, which is not the most high paid, clearly, I thought of my strategy for this school year. It's like, Sasha, whatever you want to make, you're gonna make it in your digital products, your webinars, your education, your donation, where everything is gonna be paid for and covered. And that's the plan. It's like, then I thought about the school times. I'm like, well, damn, if I from 8 to 3, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at the other jobs, my ass, like, you come to the brokerage, you're going to be staying from 7 to 5. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, oh, I don't know. But with an environment that I constantly get to learn, and I have some alignments there with the connections that I've made recently, I'm like, I think I need to be over here. Because if I go over there and I make money and I have to study for a test and all this other stuff, it's going to take me off my path. My path is not to be derived from that. It's to be able to teach what I want to teach the way I want to teach it, right? And consult and build how I think. And so we've done so much. And what we say, what it be, let's see. We met in January.
Yeah, it was just January.
And
last January, I didn't tell anybody this on Substack yet, but last January I was working on a project with my cousin. And my cousin reminds me a lot of your sister. And the fact that she kind of wants things done but doesn't know how to do them.
That's
And
it.
not to put your sister on the spot.
No. Look, she probably not watching.
But not exactly I guess putting in the amount of effort that you would think that somebody would put into their own project,
Yeah.
So last January, I was working on this project, an e-commerce website with my cousin, right? It was supposed to be the AliExpress of Africa, meaning that it's very ambitious. Africa is a large continent, many different countries, many different resources. She wanted to be that go-to, like an Amazon, like a eBay, like a something like that, an AliExpress for Africa. So I'm like, okay, let's create an e-commerce website because that's pretty much what I can do, for sure. And she was like, okay, I have $25,000. Where she got the $25,000 from? Her ex-boyfriend. A boyfriend that she's not with right now, too. Yeah. And I was like, okay, $25,000 isn't going to cut it, but I'm going to try to bootstrap it as best as I can.
Yeah, for sure.
And I got a developer, I got a designer, I got a photographer to help her on ground in Kenya, where we're based, to help her with product placement, product design, product descriptions, that sort of thing. I got a videographer that helped as well a little bit too. But everything fell apart. That's pretty much what I was about to say. Everything fell apart from the beginning, and it's because of this whole synchronicity, this whole thing that it's like the synergy between people is not okay, And me and you, we have that synergy. That's why I believe in all the projects that we're doing right now. I don't care if I'm gonna get paid or not. I mean, I assume I'm gonna get paid, But with my cousin, I knew I was gonna get paid, but I wasn't sure about the vision behind what she was trying to do. And that's why I think that everything kind of happens at his own pace and his own season, meeting people. So it took a year for me to meet you, It'll take another year to meet another person, maybe. It might take another day, it might take another week. Whatever happens, it's a new season. It's like yesterday was a new moon in Leo. I did a ritual and it was very it was very cathartic. And the fact that I cut off people that I didn't really like that much anymore, and I decided to just focus on myself, you know. Because when push comes to shove, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
So that's why I like this whole thing that you're doing. I don't know why you don't do lives more often. You're so natural on camera. you have such like a gregarious energy to you, like like you're just so vivacious and like
Oh,
charming. It's like
yeah.
super nice. Like you should be doing this every week.
Well, I think also, Christine, let's talk about the place where you feel comfortable and seen, right? I did a live on Instagram before and with I think it was just me. Yeah, it was just me. And it was just so like I didn't like it because it was just like so starky and so crooked. And there's not much engagement. There's just viewage. Like, and you go for visual inspiration. Like, I feel like Instagram is the end all be all mood board, right? It will show you, educate you, and that's why I think every platform has its take. And then LinkedIn to me has always been work. It's always been like structured. I know people do try to have some more compelling posts, like with Jabal, Warner passing, and you see like not many, but you see one post, you're like, okay, some empathy is coming on here. But everybody's strategic, digital data. This is what I'm doing. Oh, guess what? I got a new job. Like it's a very much like Facebook now vibes for professionals. But it's also informational and it's also allow you to say where people are going. So I do like it for that. But I don't feel like I want to go live on there. I don't feel like I'll get as much engagement as I did when I posted my little snippet of the speech that I did on Instagram on my main it's OG fashion channel, but it was like now you take oh my god like and then reposting the same thing and then Substack is literally my favorite platform. If I could sit here and read as much as I want to, I would do it all day. I love the fact that they have the notes and this and that. So I think I had to find my place too. TikTok is more like snippets and I can't go live there because I have much followers. And then I think for me to create images on YouTube, if I can go live on YouTube, I would love that because it would be simple. But like you said, I just probably have to. There's no engagement if I do it like on Riverside, recorded, uploaded, then you just listening. So I think the live component may have to go with like Substack, using that, or do a Zoom, like you said, invite people and then upload that to YouTube. Because I think YouTube, as I was listening last night, to Callum, I think it was like, he was just saying how, and it's true. I love YouTube. I feel like I watch YouTube more than I watch news. I watch the stock market on Yahoo Finance, and then I go to YouTube. And then, and then I literally read Substack. So I want to invest more time in that. And I think the goal is to get enough followers over to the second channel so that I would have somebody to go live to. So I'll go follow the Maven Creators channel on Substack, but I'll be promoting that more. Yeah, I'll be doing
I
more.
understand all of that. Like Substack is where it's at. YouTube is definitely getting a bit of a resurgence also, too.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool. Like, me, I'm not really into video, as you can tell. I'm not really into video. Like I like the written word. I like writing on Substack. I like writing on LinkedIn. I used to write on Medium before Medium kind of imploded on itself. Um, I used to write on a lot of different platforms, but Substack is kind of like home to me, and so is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where I started, and Substack is where I'm probably going to end. So I'm going to continue on with this journey, and I love to see what you're going to be doing with your lives. I'd love to see what you're going to be doing with your written content as well, like your notes and
Yeah.
your little snippets that you share about your life. I'm also interested in the spider plant that's right behind you. What's up with that?
Yeah. So this plant, this is actually was my mother's favorite plant. And as a kid, she had one in the back porch, and it was beautiful. Like she had a painting basket, and I always was gravitating towards it. And so I remember I was like, I did this thing where like, even if I didn't have like a whole bunch of money, I would buy myself a plant, a herb. And so now my house is plants everywhere. And it's just this little reminder about the little joy, the abundance that this plant is feeding me. I'm growing, food here in my house. And so I actually have a lady that she's like an aunt to me. She wants a snippet of it. She's like, oh, I want a spider plant. I was like, girl, I want a spider plant. Now it's probably had too much water. She's kind of mad. But I also look at like, I style my plants like hair. So I find myself the little beauty niece that me. I love playing with the spider plant because I like trim her hair. She has this do going on. And I wanted to create like this barista situation. And I thought about what you said about the post-it notes. about like when I get my first paycheck, what I'm going to buy. And so I remember I manifested an espresso machine. OG, I used to work for Nespresso's PR and I launched it in Target years ago. And people were like, what the hell is this? They didn't know what the hell espresso was. It's nasty. But a lot of people were from different countries, Latin community, they loved it. So I was like, I want to graduate and get myself. I watched the YouTube Seattle Coffee. And I was like, I'm going to challenge myself to do the cappuccino. And so I have a friend from Canada, and we used to have this thing on Instagram called Coffee Chats with Steph. And I loved it because she talked coffee. She used to make coffee. And now she's on YouTube now. She makes YouTube snippets. She does like psychic stuff, tarot readings. And I just remember she showed like how she did like 1-2 videos of like what machine she used and how to press the coffee. And it's just a journey. It's a ritual. And I think like the goal is that I've manifested. I got this plant here. I'm going to manifest my cappuccino machine. So that's why I put on my bio, say, buy me a cappuccino. Because eventually I'll be making cappuccino. When you come down here, you can be like, girl, I'm inside kitchen, bring me a cappuccino. Yeah.
I would prefer a matcha.
Oh, okay.
I would take the cappuccino because you offered it.
Well, I know a really great place. If y'all are listening in NOLA, check out Evolve Coffee. They make the best matcha lemonade. They made me yesterday. I treated myself. So, and you know this. I got a matcha lemonade with some lavender syrup. So it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was very calming, not to make me sleepy, but calming. And I also, for productivity tips, I tell people don't do what I did, which was yesterday. I did take breaks, but I was like, I don't know, the Leo moon. I was like, oh, I need to get this out. I need to get this creativity out. And then I love when I look at something, I'm like, damn, that was good. So I thought about us doing a prompt party. I just thought about this. When I go live, I have the best ideas too. So you're right. But a prompt party, because the app, literally, I put the prompts in there and I had no edits besides I want a black girl. I want representation. I want the black girl. I want Kelly. I want Kadesha. I want Kadesha in the bag. I want her earrings. I want, I'm very specific. But I don't let that shit slide. Not to me. And so I just be like, oh my God, like I created all these things. I did get and I want to know how you feel about this. I was sending my bio site, texting like people on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I had one comment about, like when you see the bio site, you'll see the cartoon version of me, the French Quarter Sonthia, or I call it the Ava the Avatar. And she's like, Sonthia, I wanted to see your face. And I said, it is me. It's just avatar me. And so I think I'm a real person behind creating my digital art, and I'm working on a portfolio site that's free, that's protected. And I'm in Art Studio. I think it's called Art. No, it's Art Station. Art Station. So for those out there who needs a portfolio site that's free, that protects your work, because in a lot of Black creators, we get our stuff stolen on Amazon, on Alibaba. So that's another educational moment for us. Come to our workshop. I'm working on how we can digitally protect our art. My cousin is a digital artist, Florida Tiff, and she's also a pediatric dentist. And I help her with the whole concept in the beginning. I want her to do a couple of cool classes on digital art on the iPad on the Procreate, which I know nothing about. So I want her to teach me. And she's in Georgia. So the goal is to go to Georgia, to go play with her and to be part of her world. Yeah, to get outside. I gotta get. So, 1 weekend I'd be like, hey, cuz, look, let's do a workshop. Let's meet up. Let's do this. And I believe she's a Gemini. She is the epitome of like, let's go. So, and she's so busy though. I'm like, okay, I think she would love to do this. And it's also would highlight her shop and her brand and how she got started and our story as real blood cousins on my mama's side. Like how we went to high school together and then like I followed her whole pediatric dentist journey. And, like how every time I want a piece of special art in my house, because I'm actually selling all this shit. It's not me anymore. I'm selling everything off the marketplace. So if y'all want to go buy some of the old ass art that I don't like no more, y'all go buy it. But I want to put some Florida Tiff up in my house She created my first logo for the Fashion Brand Guru. And she's like, don't show anybody that sketch, but I'm proud of it because that was for the TIFF in the beginning. And I still love I literally was riding in Baton Rouge. There was a Indian restaurant because my name is Hindu, means happiness. And there was a girl, she had her hands like this. And I called myself the Fashion Brand Guru. So I told her, make her me. And she did. So, those stories, these kids, women, everybody needs to hear because you're inspired every day. Whether you walk into the Bottega with Christina or you walk around the corner store in New Orleans, there's inspiration everywhere.
I've always seen that 100% of my thing. I feel like you're so I guess open about it. Me, I tend to rant when it comes to certain stories because most of my stories are kind of a little bit sad.
Oh, well,
I mean, sad stories are okay, especially sad love stories.
yeah.
I like to read those the most. But my happy story that I have right now, I guess I'll just share it with you is that my sister, she just turned 20 and she just finished her road test. She is officially a driver. Everybody's so proud of her because it's her first time passing the road test. She didn't have to go a second time. I went 3 times myself to pass that step. And it didn't work out in my favor the first time because I went to the wrong place. It didn't work out the second time because I just didn't have enough knowledge. So it's just that whole thing where it's the next generation of kids, especially young women, especially young Black women, are so impressive to me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Santi, could I call you Santi?
Yeah.
I feel like Santi and me, we love that whole thing about the next generation of Black girls being able to learn about artificial intelligence, learn about vibe coding, programming, computer science, all these things, and just be happy doing it,
Yeah.
Because it's the whole gatekeeping that tech bro land does often when it comes to technology is just so shameful and it's so vile, that it's you can't even have somebody that maybe is a little bit rusty in their coding or maybe a little bit not as, I guess, good at coding, be able to even join these circles. And I feel like now it's a new era with artificial intelligence. I feel like people that say hey, I never thought that I can create an application by myself.
What?
Now it takes literal minutes to do so.
Literal minutes.
And it's not just something that's just a tic-tac-toe game on your phone, but it's something that is meaningful and actually could help a lot of people out. And I feel what's the point of having, I guess, gatekeeping and these sort of spears if you're going to be helping people in the long run, I feel disappointed when people are just oh, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about that when it comes to things that Black people, especially Black women, are so happy and engaging with. I heard that there was a statistic that said that Black children between the ages of 14 and 22 were the most into artificial intelligence in the United States. They're the most, engaged with it, using it almost every day, And I feel like that's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
The whole digital divide thing that's happening in our school systems, and all of these institutions is not going to be something that will happen in the future. And it's going to be led by Black girls. And that's kind of my thing, and that's Santi's thing as well, to help the next generation of Black women, whether they're young or old, be able to find their way using technology. And I think that's all it really is.
Yeah.
And the interim period, that's really all it takes.
And I also feel like people should be getting comfortable or should be comfortable with having assertive direction from Black women, right? Because now what I see is that there's multicultural children out there and it's true. You could walk around, this parent comes in, you don't know what her child looks like. You can't judge that. So everyone needs to be educated on collaborating with each other. That was my biggest thing because I see a lot of segregation in the New Orleans schools.
Because a lot of schools.
It's all white school, all white school. the school I'm at, it's more integrated, and they're culturally like loving to each other. And it's crazy that I can say that. They're also culturally loving, like punk rock, love. This this girl, she got face paint, look like a cat, but she down with the hip hop crew. Like they all like, it's a beautiful world that they are existing in. But I also feel like the collaboration from the old generation, there is still stigma up here, even though there's collaboration down here. And my goal is to sprout it up and to say the world doesn't look just like you. There's so many facets. And I don't want you to be afraid if you had to pick your ID. Yeah, they agree. If you had to pick your ID in front of Brad and Keisha, like you should be able to project yourself in front of anybody. So at the workshop, I helped, a lot of students, well, if they needed it, but I also encouraged them to have soft skills, how to present, how to talk in front of an audience, how to be confident, how to engage with your work, how to present, how to not read off the screen, that's important, soft skills, because, you could have all the tech you want. And even if you don't like being on camera, it's totally fine. But communication, like, I was never the math whiz, and I was always okay with that, right? My grandfather was like, never be ashamed to count your hands, period. That's all he had to tell me. He was excellent at math. But I was really good at English. Like, I was good at English, I was good at science. And I had, shout out to Miss Ross, my middle school teacher, who bumped me up to advanced science. I never forgot that. And then Black lady, beautiful. Anyway, it's like you actually kind of remind me, bro, because she had the same little curly, like short dude. Big tall woman too. It was funny because I had to do a project with like sex ed, and I had wanted a custom made doll. So I made my dad buy a doll kit. Okay. And they didn't have an option that looked like me. There was like this doll that was light complected with light eyes, and she had blonde hair. So she looked like she could be mixed, like maybe one of my cousins. So I said, like, she's high yellow, like she's black, she's light skinned. And her name was Veronica. And I
Veronica, wow.
stuffed her with flour. She was dressed, baby. My aunt had given me all these clothes. She was dressed. Her hair was, her hair was coarse too. Veronica is a nappy. It was coarse. And I did her hair, and people were like, damn, Sonthia, because everybody brought an egg. Everybody had a little egg. I want no egg. I wanted a doll. And my daddy had tied her up with zip ties. My daddy loves zip ties. And I looked at like my life. I said, I literally said this. I said, I don't be living in a project because I don't make enough money to give you like a description. You're going to be Jan that works at the bank or whatever. I was like, I don't make enough money. I was like, you ain't going to be in a project. So it was just like right then and there, I was like, oh shit. Like that whole sex, and it wasn't about birds and the bees, even though they glanced over that. It was really about survival. Trying to survive. I knew that. I was like, nope. But I also remembered that they didn't have any representation of what I looked like. And I had to create, I had to imagine. And with AI, London, quiet. With AI, you don't have that to do. You can go in there and train. And the more we use those prompts to get in those data systems, and that's what we talked about too in the workshop, data diversity. And that's something I'm very passionate about, is to us to get in those data systems. So when the kids didn't want to participate, this is what we said. Well, your probability, your input, and your output ain't going to be the same because we don't have your data, right? We don't have your data, but we have Kelly data. That's why they measuring you, your weight, your height, your food. They don't, when you go to the doctor, and that's what he was talking about on the Mind Valley Summit. He didn't say that specifically, but who are they training this data on? Who, when they say like...
Definitely not us.
Definitely not us. Ancestry, right? When I first started Ancestry, I did, the whole like DNA. At first, I was more Benin than I was Nigerian. And so I remember that, right? And this is what I said. I said, Dad, you know what? I'm only going to take as much as I want to take from this, because are they really going into villages and swiping my people? Or are they swiping the people that are be able to afford to pay for the test? There's no voluntary DNA sampling going on. So probability and all those things come into play. It's not that you have to be an expert in statistics. You just have knowledge of answering the questions and communicating with these AI agents on how to get the best answer. And so that's what I realized. I was like, so the kids who don't pay attention to English and reading, I'm like, you can't work in my workshop. No, because you're not able to talk. What I see is like, no. You need to go back. to miss so-and-so's class and pay attention, right? Because you're not, do you read a real book? It's another thing. Oh, Miss Coleman. No, I don't replace AI with real books. I go to the bookstore, I put that phone up, or I use it as a tool to help me research something. Like I went to the bookstore, there's a bookstore about voodoo. And it was written on in 1979. And they talked about rituals. They talked about one of the deities that I love is Mami Wata. Mami Wata was a deity. She didn't have any children. She was over the water. And I connect with that spirit. And he talked about that in 1979. So then I compare what he said, right? What AI said, and then what Louisa Teach said in Jambalaya book that she wrote right here in New Orleans in 1985. And it all makes sense, right? Okay. So those type of research tools are so important, and you don't have to go get a PhD or a master's degree because Lord knows all I did was research papers in my MBA. So it was research. And when I got to, I had a scholarship to get a PhD in business, and I just got out of the program because I wanted to talk about bachelor psychology. And they were like, and then Professor John Karen was my subject matter. And they told me that I couldn't write about it in my thesis, right? Because it was a Black woman who coined the term here in the United States. We're talking about London. I already talked to the woman who coined it in London and had a problem with Dawn Karen. Like, I'm in New York, and she's telling me what really happened in the Uber, okay? Like, what really going down. I went to Harlem with, like, her she called him golf ball, and he cool with me now. So when you have those type of real-life experience behind what you see on the internet, and I watch how she marketed and brand herself. She did TED Talks. She's in Asia. She's in the United. Like, she had a whole class action lawsuit with FIT. So, like, the story between all these intersections, like, now the internet's helping her pump her story. And she's been grassroots. She has her own website. She has her own programs. She has her own courses. Like, she's been doing it. And so for you to tell me things like, Sonthia, you should be doing this, or what you think about this, I totally understand because I have walked through the blueprint and I have invested in other Black women in their mission. And now it's time for me to do mine. You know, it's like, okay, Sonthia, you can support all that you can support. You know what I mean? So now, okay, it's your turn. So these are people that I'm gonna call on. Yo, Diane, remember me, your favorite student? I was the first Black student to graduate in fashion psychology to be published in the journal. You know, hey, girl, look, I'm doing a webinar on 138th Street. You coming? Like that's what I'm saying. And I think that's the beautiful part about the internet, you know, is that I've never met her. I met her online. I looked at her work. I took her course and I bonded with her in real life.
Which is cool. I mean, that's what it should be. Like, just like vibing with people in real life and like in real time. Like, the important thing is that people gain the knowledge and the skills necessary to be able to do this stuff on their own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And context is important. There's a new thing out called context engineering, which is basically just advanced prompt engineering.
It's called
You
what?
know,
Wait.
it's
What
called
you doing?
context.
Oh, Stevie, no.
It's called context engineering. Mm-hmm. There's something that's like new. It says that, oh, vibe coding is dead. They always say stuff like that just to get people to watch the video.
Yeah.
But if you actually pay attention, like you'll see that, like, you know, it's much more interesting than it looks like. Like, context engineering is more like just not just prompting an AI to do what you want it to do, but giving it the necessary context, meaning like the actual documentation, the actual files, the actual code bases, maybe like code snippets, things like that, in a way that is more refined so that it gives you exactly what you want.
Can you write in the chat for me context engineering? Because I think that's like a 3-level program, right? Like you first start, you become a vibe coder, right? A prompt engineer, and then like these are levels of complexity that people could probably learn with you, and you have and you can teach me live because that's what we're doing right now. You have a context engineering. Okay, I love it. You have coding with the cutie, or how I want to say it wrong.
Coding like a cutie.
Coding like a cutie, which I think is so important because, you know, New York has Black girls that code, girls code, you know, And I think what happened was when we had the workshop, there was no girls in the coding. And I think I discussed that with you. I was frustrated because I was like, nobody, first of all, I'm the only girl here, facilitator, and there's nobody that's going to challenge. But what happened was they made it really comfortable for the boys. And if they would have, not that saying it has to be like girls versus boys, but I think we should be empowering the girls that they're just as smart as any of the boys. And that was my big takeaway. And I said that I was like, I would love for us to, and I shared your product with one student that wanted to mentor with me afterwards in the fashion space. But yeah, coding and not to and to break down the stigma. So there is Professor Courtney. She is on LinkedIn and she has a lot of free classes. So if you're not on LinkedIn, I encourage some of the high school students to start LinkedIn early. And she did something. You could generate a course called AI Architect. Now it's a little bit more technical, right? I'm halfway in it. It's a little bit more technical, but it is the back. It gives you more context. Even if you don't gather all the information, it will click when it's supposed to click. It will click when it's supposed to be. I gotta make me some calls, B. Let's see what this shit comes up about. Are you watching these people? They said they're not gonna give us a report.
They're not giving a recording?
That's what they said. And they're like, we're not. I think they might either sell the recording or have it for a limited time because they got too many.
Then I'm in trouble.
No, you're not.
Sorry.
I also think like. Also, I can't tell that chat keep freaking popping up. I don't want to say it to chat. I want it to stop popping up. Yes. That's what I do. It's like a little key to self. Like if you're trying to focus, y'all, get that chat to stop popping up. Oh, what do I wish I could wake up? And why is that impossible? And sometimes it isn't. Sometimes I realize, all I need for that is, the right collaborator. Or
What are they talking about now?
she just didn't reach past this. All right, let's get she's reached past about art. I think it's like a dance plus art of just like, yeah, you is vicious things if they were possible. Yeah, she's like, how can you apply AI in my business? You'll realize that automated test by most data is such a powerful way to push the boundaries. And she just like compelling people. She's like, no, like trying to convince people like, welcome to AI. We advance. I think we want, give me Noelle, give me my sister child. Let me hear about Noelle, baby, because I'm in her school community. So that's another thing I'm doing today is finding about the app. And then I went over the plan, kind of feeling so you can kind of tell people what you do. It's amazing because a lot of times as creators, people talk about multi-passion creatives and focusing on one idea. This is the difference between having a strategy and branching it off with other ideas. Like, so I created the Meme Tech Group, which is about power using technology and AI specifically, but not inclusively. Is that you need a plan, and you can have all these notes, but I'm learning to be digitally organized using the technology to help me. So while I still have pen and paper in front of me, Christine has allowed me to use some tech tools to strategize the future that I want, because I want to make money while I sleep on the internet. So I told my dad years and years ago, he got me my first computer. I'm like, Dad, this gonna pay off, buddy. I'm just saying. But can you kind of walk me through something that you did with the client that you did with me that really helped me? It's like a blueprint that I use on Google Forms, or no, Google Docs.
Mm-hmm. I'm so disorganized when it comes to doing anything. I still like pen and paper.
Yeah, pen and paper is OG.
My Google Drive, you wouldn't even want to look at it. Like, whatever comes to my mind, I just start writing like a new doc, and then I don't even make sure to even organize it into a folder or anything like that. So half the time I'm just like writing the same stuff all over and over again. Like I'll just like with the shameless method, like I wrote an article, or rather like vibed an article on Love Island and how it kind of informs people's ideas about love and relationships in present day. People really liked the article, and I just wrote the shameless method on a piece of paper, and I'm just like, I've done this 10 times in the past week, just writing the shameless method as my first title, and then just just brain dumping as I go along, and it's kind of like me and you, we kind of vibe well because we think the same way.
Yeah.
Also, I think.
Yeah.
Except the fact that like my first computer came from my father also, but it's kind of a funny story because he got it from his work. He used to work for the duty free shops and the airports. He
Yeah.
used to work for a subsidiary of that shop. Hudson Group
Yeah.
or the
Oh,
Hudson
yeah. The books.
bookstores.
It's all
Yeah.
the magazines, all the periodicals, and all the stuff at the bookstore. Yeah, it's still like
Yeah,
the
he used to be the head of information technology at
wow.
Hudson. Yeah.
That's a lot of information.
Yeah. And he basically got my first laptop from work, meaning that he took it from one of the employees and he basically wiped out the information and gave it to me. So he didn't buy it per se, but it was mine in the sense
Yeah.
that it had all of my information on it. And I
You-
used to just go on PBS Kids and Kids Health and just browse the net,
Yeah.
reading fan fiction and shit like that, just just normal kid stuff. But the thing
Yeah.
that I really liked about online activity during the time
Yeah.
is how custom it was. You can
Yeah.
just do your own spin on everything, whether it's just creating a web page from scratch, whether it's like a MySpace, whether it's like MSN Messenger, just putting your own spin on things. And I think that now with AI is even better than before to just customize anything that you choose to customize to your liking. That's why I really like your Vibe Coach, Hype Coach app that you created. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love the neon colors and I love the dark mode. I love how it's the different tiers and stuff.
That's
I hope it's really successful.
dark mode or light mode. For certain stuff like email, I like light, it's just like it's like the morning. But for my interface and me to really group, I love the dark mode. And also it's telling a lot of the data scientists that I worked with in the workshop. I was like, code is really colorful. Like I thought about that for merch, right? Like the black tee with the some type of code. Because I feel like it should be fashionable. If they say fashionable to be nerd, but it's really just the way you think. It's like how things work. Engineering is just how things work. My nephew, he loves to fiddle and how things work. And there's actually, I remember I have a sensory toy that I have to get on my shed for him because my son's like, you have that? You know, we're hourly words. Like, he needs a sensory toy. I'm like, girl, my girlfriend already gave me this. They got it and throw it away. But, you know, he likes to figure stuff out. And when you notice that, even if it's a parent or friend, they notice that your dad even knows like this is something he's interested in. You know, what happened was my dad saw the revolution of the internet. Like those just like they had the TVs with the ass on it, they also had the computer with the ass on it. And it was like a big deal, you know, that he could give us this laptop. Because my dad grew up right near his house. Okay. There was no computer, you know, so it is humbling for me to be here and to do like my grandma was in this kitchen. My grandpa like created life in this kitchen. Like I'm here fire coding. What? This is wild, you know. So taking that advantage of say, okay, this is an investment for me to be comfortable. I don't have to go to a bookstore, but then I can go places that they couldn't go, and I can create, and I can really like just dream up of an idea and see it in front of me. And I think the biggest step, like you said,
Hey, Nina.
quiet is to do that, and then let's not let him live on ChatGPT because I love your formula for your apps. The three. I hope you wrote that down somewhere
Yes.
because we need to teach. So that the thing is that the workshop y'all that we're working on, it's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be real cozy. Hey Nina, the workshop we're working on, we're gonna do mood boarding. I'm going to talk about brand strategy, my 25 plus years of fashion marketing in every department, working with all the corporate, blah, blah, blah. But the goal is that you treat yourself like corporate. Like I'm literally turning my business into corporate, but the corporate I want to see, the corporate I don't want to work for, the corporate that would validate me and my ideas, not take my ideas, don't give me a promotion, give me a thumbs up and good job and say, keep producing and making for us. And you know what's funny, y'all? Is that on Instagram, you think somebody's watching? That Moet Hennessy executive, she watching. She watching. I see her always watching. But the goal is that I took that opportunity and I maxed it out for myself. So when you're working at these jobs, these are investments for your business, right? You max that shit out to the max, to the other max. Like, I still have all that shit from the liquor brands. Child, my nail stuff sit on them cloudy base shells, honey. You know, my daddy drank so much. Not that we want to excess in alcohol, because that's another thing that just is bad. But now that I know, but you know, I don't care about drinking. Shit, I had a liquor store in my damn trunk. How you do about track every liquor you the name? Champagne, Dom Perignon, all that shit. Don't mean that my brand, me, what I'm creating is more powerful. I had to spend my life talking about their portfolio, and I just started on mine. And I think that's what we're seeing, that these brands, they love all your juice and jazz, but they don't invest in you. And that's what we're doing. This workshop, we're investing in you, your ideas, what you have going on. And I love your whole thing about coding because this is not, it ain't gonna sit on ChatGPT and hard. Because how many chats do you have on the side of that thing? Bro, I looked at my chats, I was like, something you running out of memory. Guess what I do? The hack, y'all. I use all my emails. I go in there. Another email. Now you gotta remember what that idea was when you try to implement it. But the goal is that it doesn't live there. And you have clarity. So the mood board that I want to do with Shuffle is expiring. It's to sit down and have a conversation about you and your business and for you. And then the second phase is Christine. And how she's going to take your idea if you want to do that. And I know you put the poll up on LinkedIn, so you can actually follow us both on LinkedIn. It's our names listed here. You put a poll up because I was like, Christine, we need some numbers to see what people want to make. So can you kind of talk about the whole, you don't have to give it away, but you can get a little teaser about that 3-step call system frame because that shit is fine. Like, I don't know what he's saying, but you're more interested in his ass because I'm bored with him right now. Bored. Give my certification.
Well, I mean, the basic way that you have to like do like all of these like vibe code the things is that you have to start with a plan, which means that you have to start with an idea, and then you basically build on that idea and then build on the prompts that are necessary to create that idea in real time. So if you have like something that's like super faceted, multifaceted, you just do it one step at a time, like, one feature at a time. Me, I did it the wrong way. I'm not gonna like try to lie and like say that I was like doing something like, like amazingly complex and like, amazingly like good the first time around when I did Shameless, but it worked out. It was like an experiment.
She
And that's the
here.
thing that I like the most about coding in general, whether you're vibing it or not, is that it's an experiment, like you're not gonna be showing this to live people right away. So you have the chance to kind of like sandbox it, meaning that you create an environment for yourself, you do it in real time, you change the colors around, you change the borders around, you change the padding, the margins, like, you change everything that you want to change about it, you change it, you know?
Right.
And you
And,
see if people like it in real time
and
later.
another thing, we share resources. So you join our collaborative community that we're creating on school.
Mhm.
You get both of us, right? And the goal is that I'm invested in her, like she's invested in me. We're invested time right now. But the goal is we're gonna break bread. The goal is that if you want to consult with Christine about your app or something specific that's just really well with writing, you need to get with her. If you want something creative, you want some lingo, some vibes behind that app that you just created with Christine, you can definitely hire me as well. And that's the goal. It's creating this universe of network, this ecosystem. We don't have to rely on them calling us for a job. Okay? Because ain't none of them called me this summer. Nobody. I had to call myself. Call me. So it's funny. I was listening to Master P. He was like, work for yourself so you never get fired, right? I had said that my last day off. But it's true. Like, the way you broke down and also the systems behind the apps, right? So I use Gamma for a site, but you have to insert those integrations. And when I worked for that company that went viral on TikTok, I did a lot of integrations management, right? And that was like a headache. Shopify was like, but Gamma makes it easy. It seems like you just pay for the subscription and you just plug these in. You plug in the URL, the APIs. You're just plugging those embedded codes in. And it's a one-click system with AI, and it makes it really awesome to manage your business. So you are an entrepreneur, but you got AI agents. Your strategy. And we and Christine were thinking this out. So if you wanted to hire us on a dual project, we would love to help. Because
Definitely.
Christine, yesterday we figured out I was like, Christine, look at, and I'll send her a voice note. Look, I'm doing this project. I mean, what do you think about this AI
And you're
tool?
being so shady about it too. Now I know what you were doing. And I'm like, I wish you should have told me in the beginning, like, so I could have just told her straight off the bat, but it's okay because the result was better than I expected.
What'd you talk about? Talk about the website, the WordPress?
Yeah, the WordPress stuff, like, that you're talking about right now. Yeah, like she was like, "Oh, Christine, I'm not sure. Like, I have this secret project that I'm trying to work on, and I don't know, but I just wanted to know, could I do this?" And then she left another voice note on my phone, and it's like, "Oh, by the way, Christine, I really enjoy our talks together, and you're really smart. But another question, could I do this?"
That's how I think. That's how I be thinking. I'm like, look, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to tell people you appreciate them because we know people always try to use us. And, Christina, we were very legal. Like, what you bring to the table, I was very like, no. Because when you get screwed by your own people, we have to build that trust, especially in Black businesses, you build that real trust. Like, look, I'm not trying to do anything but do the right thing. My grandma always, raised me to have a pure heart. And there's a lot of people in this world that don't have a pure heart. They probably got some badass intentions. They got a bad heart. Yes, it's dead. And you could tell, like, even when you work with people, like, going back to school, okay. But I just knew to have that ritual discernment, baby. My grandma taught me, like, spirits are real and protect yours. So I had my crystals in my pocket. I was like, hey, how y'all doing? All right. Because you got to be that way in life. When you're creating something, that's also another thing about creating stuff we have emotional attachment to, right? So we had a beauty business, my mom and pastor had to dissolve the business. That was a big thing for me at 32. Now I'm 39. I'll be 40 this year in September, God said to say. And, I'm building something else. And that's what my mother would want me to do, right? And she collaborated with a whole bunch of Black, right? She made a whole bunch of Black women beautiful, confident. They talk about my mother in such a beautiful light. And that's what I want to leave this earth with, that type of impression and impact in people's hearts and people's minds that I've changed their lives. These people in economic situations, when you have no income coming in and you like, okay, I got 2 more days on this internet. I got 5 more days to pay this phone bill.
I've been there, done that.
I got this wash machine to sell. Babe, I'm selling shit off the wall. Okay? Got lights on. That shit hits home. And that's what they were saying on the show. That's when you know that if you could survive what you done went through and come out with something powerful that changed people's lives, you good. Everything else is pro bono, And it's so funny. I'll tell you the story. Every time I go to the library, I would order books. So I order books and pick them up. And I keep thinking to myself, like, if you need some gas, man. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get some more gas. Every time I think I gotta get gas, the needle look like it just don't go down. It go keep going up. I said, no, damn, why I need to get some gas yesterday at the bookstore? Just kept, I'm like, no, I got another day. I got another day if I get too low. Rebels don't let it get too low. But that's like us. Don't let it get too low where you feel like your idea's not good enough. Like you have to, also, we have it bad in our community. We don't want to share. So you think, Christine put cozy in her, I don't give a damn. I don't own cozy. We are cozy. We're cozy together. We're cozy cousins. Call it cozy cousins. I don't own anything. And I think like the 4 ingredients, we don't own anything. Just like this house, if I pay his taxes, he could take this house. You don't own anything. So protection of your art, yes. Being inspired, I give shout outs. Like I get credit. When you do that, you're not plagiarizing anybody else's idea, but you're also inspired by it, right? I think that's the biggest thing in discernment, what I would like to bring to the community of school. And really want people to be a part of what we're bringing here, which is true, pure collaboration. And if there's something I don't like, Christine, though, she had made a presentation. I was like, oh, Christine, I really don't like it. And you were like, Sonthia, you better with the design than me. It's like, well, but still, right? Like, your aesthetic is still valuable because the shameless stuff I think is pretty, right? I think I want something clear, Christine, but I'm not creating this for me. We're creating it for you guys. We can look at it all day and love it. And then you guys can say, nobody uses your app. And that's what you were talking about yesterday on the Callum Johnson's show. He was like, create things that are in demand that people need. And that's what we've been doing. We go to the app store and we're saying, it's not a Black girl meditation app where the icons and the images and avatars look like us, look like our cousin now, look like our friends, doesn't represent us in our lingo. If I tell somebody I'm going up the street, they might know what that is. They might not know. So, I think our collaboration is important, and we invite you guys to follow us both as we pitch ideas and polls. We know people are overstimulated, but we want them to engage in what's purposeful. And if we're purposeful for them in our content, y'all come on over. We open the door for y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Get a coffee and a matcha.
Exactly.
Cheers, friend.
Cheers.
This man still told me. Boring.
No, what I was trying to say before is that based on what I'm thinking about the poll, I think that the best thing to do for people to learn how to do this vibe coding shit for the first time, try something virtual, something free, something a little bit engaging, more of a lead magnet, so to speak. And then slowly but surely go into live workshops. Because live workshops have a whole bunch of contingencies attached to them.
Yeah.
Like you have to find a venue and you have to make sure that people are comfortable. Like you have to make sure that if you're ordering food or drinks for them, like, they're appropriate. Have to make sure that everybody is safe and secure within their space because the classroom is supposed to be a controlled environment, Yes. So you have to make sure that everything is set up just right. Mm-hmm. So I feel like for us, if anybody wants to join us in the vibe coding workshop, just say what you need to say in the chat
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be continuing on with this soon.
Yes. Nina
But
found me on LinkedIn. Thank you, Nina. Her message. Yeah. If we reach one person alive, I'm good. You know, like, and it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality of people that you have that's engaged. You know,
exactly.
you could have 50 million people, you don't know who the hell they are. Yeah. That's why I like Arlen content. And you, Christine, one day I was.
Why aren't you on Arlen's school community? And actually, could you riddle me that? You
I
should be at
did.
Arlen's school.
No, you
Yep,
see,
yep.
I think it's like she doesn't have a free community, though.
She doesn't have a free one, but it's kind of cheap.
Well, you gotta wait till I get back on the payroll.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think she has one that's not. Well, this is what I do. So I didn't say no, Christine. I don't have no money. I'm not working summer school. You know, because I don't. I've had one or two clients. Um, but I have watched with my YouTube premium subscription. Okay, the been sponsored by family members. But and I write notes. So I've watched her, and this is the thing, y'all. Here's a hack. If you don't have the money, like, of course, if I had $9, I would totally sign up. Or 20. I think she has another tier one. But she talks, I've also went to her product library, which is also affordable, the $5 ones, which I would definitely invest in once we get close to our goal. But that's what I've been doing. I've been creating products so I can create revenue for myself to invest in. I did sell one digital product, but they won't let me cash out until I make $10. So, you know, and I put 2 more digital products out there so I can invest in the tools that will be profitable to me. And I think that she has given, and what I think Arlen's, honestly, what I would use her content for is YouTube because she loves YouTube. So what I'm going to do is go back and do like the Arlen YouTube time. And then when I invest when I first get my paycheck, I'm going to buy myself, what I said, some ramen. I'm going to give them a ramen date. I'm going to give it Arlen TV because I'll be able to really strategize YouTube. My sister, okay, shout out to my sister. She has been asking me to be on YouTube for years. And I just been going. I have, and I started.
Make sense.
I know. She's like, I know these things. You know, listen to me. And clearly, I've been fighting my sister with it. I don't want to be. I don't know what to say. You know, I don't want to say technology. Another thing, though, quit. And I would like to talk about this. I got to do our group chat with the engineers that I met. But I want to talk about technology because I would brought my laptop up there, honey. It was
all you need is a phone and good lighting. That's pretty much it.
My phone is cracked, so I gotta get.
So you need to. So just use Zoom or just use Zoom like on your laptop and good lighting. Yeah, really good lighting right here too. Like I hope you know that. Like this light is like popping. Like your skin is like so like supple.
It's popping. Whoa, moisturize still. Lemongrass off from Trader Joe's. Everything is on a pack. Okay, we gotta survive these times. That's gonna be the next. How to survive these times. I've been making it. Shit, growing lemongrass, child. I look at my lemongrass, y'all.
But the best thing you can do is just like have your phone, if you have it, or like your laptop. Oh, lemongrass.
Smells so. I wish I could smell it. This is from my nail tech.
Oh, nice.
That's sweet.
The lemongrass that they sell at the little Asian market here is so crappy compared to that one. That one looks like the real deal.
Yeah, she cut it right out her garden. And that's another thing, too, is there's also an exchange. I just thought about this as we're talking. Like, if you have a piece of technology, a backup battery, or something that you want to share, like, that you would, of course, digitally wipe it off. But, like, if someone can't afford technology and you have something that you don't want to use and you want to donate it to a child in need or a person, an entrepreneur that can utilize that piece of technology, old phones, cash them in. You could use.
That's a great idea. There's actually a place in Brooklyn that does the same thing. They have like a communal center where you can learn about like how to create videos, YouTube videos, podcasting, things like that. And they have a place where you can like basically borrow equipment, like really high quality equipment. You know, like high quality cameras, like like microphones, things like that. They should have these places.
It might be.
I feel like they should have these sort of places everywhere, especially in schools. Like if schools could budget to have all of these like trips and all of this stuff for the
Field trips.
administrators and nothing for the teachers, but for the administrators. and,
Talk about it.
and if they can just take some time out of their budget to put in for technology, specifically high powered technology, not just Chromebooks, but actual stuff that people could use, iPads, like stuff for podcasting, stuff for videography, stuff for photography, things like that. And that would be a great investment for our kids.
I love that. So maybe that's something I can also put in the grants,
that's something that you can put in the grants. You can say that to your friend that runs the AI
I'm gonna
program.
He's actually in Washington D.C. right now. Talking about AI.
You should text him or email him about this because that's very important. Because you were talking about that young lady that said that she wanted to do fashion track with you, but she didn't have the Procreate on the iPad or anything like that to be able to create designs that she wanted to create. So it's like stuff like that should be available in schools.
And I am talking. So he has a program at the school I'm at, which is great. So I'm trying to see how that can, how's that functioning, especially with my focus being, the girls, of course. And he sees the gap. But you're right. And the school that I'm at, they do have Google Chromebooks. Everybody has a Google Chromebook. But we also know that a lot of the stuff is Apple product driven. So some of the classrooms, they use it specifically for a subject matter like graphic arts or whatever, but it's not being used in the capacity of using by coding, right? So that's something that they're not offering because people really don't wrap their heads around it because either the guys are too technical, they don't want to talk about it, or it's not being invented. And so I think from a mentee stand, I would like to be the facilitator over that and not be in the school with it, honestly. I would like to be able to have these kids be able to do either an elective or something extracurricular that they can vibe about. Because I feel like everything is so structured. Vibe coding is also creativity and communication. So you're right. The girl who was in fashion, she told me that Ms. Coleman, I don't have an iPad. And so, for instance, my cousin does this workshop. I would want to make sure that the kids come in and they have either a sponsorship or they have some connection with them these tools. And they don't have to do anything fraudulent to get them,
And it should be something that's just ubiquitous in all of these school systems. I'm sure they have it in school systems that are from a certain demographic only, but definitely not for the school systems that we want them to be in, which are multicultural, Black adjacent, Black and brown kids having these sort of resources on hand. Even if you have to keep them in the school, just have them work on it in school only, just for safety purposes and everything, that'll be fine. But the money doesn't seem to be going to the right places. And that's something that's really disconcerting for a lot of folks, especially with the Department of Education being dismantled the way that it is right now. It's going to be tough going for a lot of people. So us being in the forefront, me and Santi, to be at the forefront of this AI education hub that we're trying to create on school together. We should put a poll up for what we want to call the group on school.
Yeah.
We should vibe some ideas as to what the name should be, and then we'll figure it out. Maybe a poll here on Substack and a poll on LinkedIn also. I think that'll be pretty cool.
I think that'll work. I think that will work.
Yeah. How much time do you have left?
Shit, they didn't even say needs to come on tomorrow. There's I have one in my damn computer. Mini gentle to there's no itinerary agenda. Because it was I think he said these people are gonna talk, but it wasn't okay, we're having this at 2:00. This is at and it's just running. We shall see. We shall see, but I'm gonna charge up everything. This has been great. I had a great time. I'm gonna invite you guys to go check out. I don't have anything written down, but check out my bio. It's on my post. So it's my last post probably restack some stuff from Christine. Thank you, Christine, for coming on co-hosting with me.
No problem.
Having the coffee chat. This is where we started, but now where we going to end.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Y'all take care. Happy Friday. Cheers.
Friday, guys. Cheers.
Talk to you at 3. Bye, y'all. Thank you.